Please welcome to the stage our MCs for this afternoon, the host of Katie Phang News, Katie Phang, and the host and co-founder of Legal AF on the Midas Touch Network, Michael Popok.
And we got some great news for everybody in the room. We're live streaming to about 40 or 50,000 people.
At least.
Right now and we're welcoming our live stream audience as well on Legal AF and the Katie Phang News Channel. We are here in Miami. We're at the what are we at?
Blue Bash
Brunch.
We had to practice that one. Took us a little bit.
The Democrats are ready to take back Florida, to take back Miami.
Absolutely.
There is energy in this room. There is energy out in our live stream. We've got an amazing group of people that have come here to join us. You want to give a little idea to our live stream audience who's here?
I mean, somebody like Congressman Jamie Raskin, for example. Even Congressman Raskin understands the importance of our state to achieve total democracy in the United States. So Jamie Raskin is here to be able to spend some time with us today.
You? No, you do.
No, you do it.
Okay. We've also got Senator Ruben Gallego is going to be appearing by video today. He had a family issue, a family emergency, but he is participating with us by video. We also have
Congresswoman Federica Wilson. And we'll also have another person like Stacey Abrams. Maybe you know who she is. Stacey will be appearing as well. But without further ado, Michael, who are we introducing to our lovely stage?
We're going to bring our finance chair, Sue. You're on.
Thank you, Michael and Katie. Thank you so much for gracing our stage and being so here for all of us here at the DEC. Is this a party? Yeah. Woohoo! Now, because we are patriots, we have a very important job to do. We need to present the colors of our beautiful American flag. And to help us do that is Airman Bob Remen. Bob, will you and anyone who has ever served in the military, please take a space right over here if you wish. You don't have to. I don't want to embarrass anyone. But I would like you to come up if you feel like it and help Bob lead us in the presentation of colors and the Pledge of Allegiance. Go ahead, Bob. Christine, thank you for coming. Good to see you. Just follow Bob up. Oh, can we bring that out just a little? That was, I don't know. Our set and props crew is really weak today. Yeah. Thank you very much. Bob, I would like you to use a microphone. I think it's a very busy group of people here today. Thank you, Bob.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please help me recite the Pledge of Allegiance? And after the Pledge of Allegiance, I would like to ask that we observe a moment of silence to remember the very good people we have lost this year. A moment to remember Officer Miami-Dade Police Officer Devin Jaramillo, Florida Representative Roy Hardiman, Florida Representative Joe Cassell, and Senator Geraldine Thompson. And now the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we're going to introduce. You want to do it?
Please welcome to the stage the chair of the Miami-Dade Democratic Party, Laura Kelly.
Good afternoon, Democrats. Is that How about this one? Good afternoon, Democrats. Thank you. What an incredible sight. A room full of leaders, organizers, contributors, elected officials, volunteers, candidates, and friends, all gathered here in the spirit of hope, purpose, and determination. Welcome to the first annual Blue Bash Brunch. Today isn't just another day on the calendar. It's a declaration that Miami-Dade is back, that Florida is not lost, and that the Democratic Party is rising again. Before anything else, I want to begin with gratitude. The Miami-Dade Democratic Party is currently an all-volunteer organization, and it has been for the last 11 months. To our officers, members, and other volunteers who have made calls, knocked on doors, talked to neighbors, and yes, sent postcards, thank you. To our elected officials, our candidates, as well as our incredible partners, thank you for believing in this work and investing your treasure and your trust. Many of you have worked tirelessly, balancing families, jobs, and community life, and yet you still show up to fight for this democracy. You all are the heartbeat of this movement, and I could not be prouder to stand with you all. Now I know this time last year was beyond rough. We heard people say that not only was Florida gone, but Miami-Dade had turned red for good. That the Democratic Party here was finished, that we should possibly start a new party or all become non-party affiliated. But I've got news for them. They were wrong. We are proving that what happened in 2024 was a fluke, not a forecast. Because the story of Florida is not one of surrender, it's one of resilience. And the story of Miami-Dade is one of revival. In just the past few months, we've rebuilt our operations, re-energized our base, and reconnected with voters who had lost faith. People have said that the Democratic Party doesn't do anything, and we only show up at election time to ask for votes. Well, not this year, not next year, not under my watch, and not under Chair Nikki Fried's watch. We are organizing year-round. Our Vote by Mail program made over 250,000 calls and 10,000 voter contacts, an unprecedented show of strength in an off-cycle election year. And that's not just data. That's proof of life, proof that Democrats are organizing and winning and believing. And wow, did we win this November? I want you all to imagine what we can do in 2026 when we have more resources, more volunteers, and the momentum we are building at this very moment. and to everybody watching at home. We know that this was an expensive event. It's a fundraiser, one that would not be televised. But thanks to Katie Phang and Michael Popok, you get to be part of this event from the comfort of your own devices. And to all of you here or on the live stream, this is your invitation. You can join us from anywhere. You can make calls, send texts, even send postcards. If you're local, you can help us knock on doors or join the Miami-Dade Democratic Party as an elected member to help us grow. Because Miami-Dade County is so back, and we're going to take all of Florida back. And we do that one conversation, one voter, one precinct at a time. This room, this energy, this spirit, this is what renewal looks like. And to our candidates heading into the December 9th runoff elections, Eileen Higgins for City of Miami Mayor. And of course, Monica Mateo Salinas for Miami Beach Commissioner. Woo! We are behind you all the way. That's right. We're going to turn out every vote, knock every door, and make sure you win, because your victories are our victories. Friends, this is just the beginning. We are organized, we are focused, we are ready, and we are relentless. So as we share this moment together, remember this. Every campaign starts with a conversation. Every movement starts with one act of courage. And every comeback starts with one decision: to keep fighting. So thank you for your partnership, for your faith, and for your fight. Now let's go show the nation that Miami-Dade is leading the way, and the path to turning Florida back to blue starts right here, right now. And so once again, welcome to the Blue Bash Brunch. Thank you.
Laura Kelly, everyone. We can't do it without her. Katie, you and I were talking. We're about 40 minutes behind. So
How very Miami, no?
So we're gonna cut our 5 minutes of banter. We do want to say though that we were so honored to be asked to be the MCs. People don't know that I've known Katie for over 20 years when we were just lawyers in Miami before we got into media, before she went off into mainstream media.
No longer there.
Now with me on a sister channel on the Midas Touch Network, the Katie Phang News Channel, and I'm with, of course, Legal AF. And we heard about this event. We were like, we've got to be here. We've got to get our live stream here.
Absolutely.
We've got, we know many of the people in the room from our other chapters in our life. And we've got a hard job to do, but it's made so much easier by the candidates and those that we're going to try to get elected, starting with Commissioner Eileen Higgins, who's going to be the first woman mayor of the city of Miami. Because we're going to come out on December 9 and do early voting before that, and we're going to work hard to get her elected. And there's just no other way around it, because now is the time for this type of leadership. Look at the roster we have today, Katie. Think of the people that have come here from far and wide to address this audience. Talk a little bit about who's here today and our relationship with them.
Well, look, you also have amazing people like Debbie McCarcel-Powell, who came all the way here to be able to spend time with us. You know, and all of us are standing on the shoulders of those before us, but at the same time, how do we not capitalize on the wins we saw on November 4th across the country? You have to take that energy and channel it into victory here. Our time is overdue. This state deserves better than what we've had. And this state's going to get better, and our county, our cities, everything is going to be better, especially once the Democrats are in control. But you know what I forgot, Michael?
Katie, what did you forget?
I forgot that another person who's going to be spending time with us later is...
Flo Rida. He's our special guest in entertainment today. But look, we all came together here on a Sunday in Miami at the Miami Improv in Doral, Florida for a reason. Not just to rub elbows with people we haven't seen in a while, but we got a job to do. And this job didn't start, tomorrow. It started yesterday. And we got to get off. It's not just about getting in this room. It's about getting souls to polls. It's about getting people out to vote. It's about taking advantage of early voting and getting mail-in voting. We're going to win on December 9th for Commissioner Higgins to make her Mayor Higgins, because we are motivated. And we see the opportunity, and we've got to get somebody like her into office. In fact, now it's time. Commissioner Higgins? Ready to go.
Oh, she's
Come on up. It's your turn. Commissioner
Eileen Higgins.
Eileen Higgins.
Feels like it's a pretty good time to be a Democrat, don't you think? Yeah, I mean, this month, let's just look back at this month. Voters across America sent a pretty clear message. They want leaders who believe in lifting people up, not holding them back. Leaders who respect people rather than belittling them, who protect our planet rather than destroy it, who grow our economy rather than strangling it, who build housing for people, not cages for them. They want leaders who fight to make sure that the American dream is still something everyone can reach for, because it's not reserved for the people who already have it. In other words, they voted for Democrats. Because we all know that Democrats have a prosperity blueprint for opportunity-rich communities where paychecks stretch further, costs come down, families can afford homes, build wealth, thrive. And as your county commissioner, I've delivered exactly that. Building thousands of affordable and workforce housing units, millions invested in local small businesses, expanded mass transit, and environmental protections for Biscayne Bay. That's the kind of stuff that happens when government focuses on results. But here's the hard truth. Not every government in Miami-Dade works this way. While your county government has been delivering results under the leadership of Mayor Daniela Levine Cava, the city of Miami has been doing the opposite, right? City Hall, stuck in chaos and corruption. Endless red tape blocks families from trying to fix their roof and small businesses from trying to open their doors. The housing crisis deepens. Public dollars are wasted instead of invested in safer streets, cleaner parks, the basic stuff that every family needs and wants. Miami is our community's flagship brand, and often it's on the national news for all the wrong reasons, right?
Corruption doesn't just waste taxpayer dollars, our dollars. It can stifle economic growth, it can drive away investment, and hold Miami back from its potential. That's why I decided it was time to run for mayor. Because it's time. It is time to restore trust in City Hall and get things done for the people. It's time to build a Miami where families can prosper, businesses can thrive, and government actually delivers. So that's thanks to you and your work, and so many of you in this room, we head into the runoff in first place. So that's because we knocked on doors all over town. Alapata, Little Havana, Coconut Grove, Liberty City, Overtown, Little Haiti, Shenandoah, Brickell, and beyond. Right? And here's what happened. When voters had a choice between corruption and competence, they chose competence. Right? Direction over distraction, and prosperity over despair. But I'm not confused. We don't win alone, we win together. And so your commitment is what made all of this possible. You called voters, you knocked on doors, you turned strangers into supporters. So Miami-Dade Dems, this is my fourth election. And let me just tell you what I've observed. I have never seen you so strong, so organized, so united. So to Chair Laura Kelly and the entire leadership team, you have re-energized Miami-Dade Dems to be laser-focused, a laser-focused organization with one mission, winning. Right? Restoring voters, registering voters, restoring vote-by-mail registrations, turning out Dems. And so now I need to ask you to do it one more time, if you don't mind. Volunteer, join a phone bank, knock some doors. Every conversation helps us win. So imagine what becomes possible when City Hall finally works for the people. Right? Or as we say here in Miami, imagínate, right? Families and seniors can afford to stay in the neighborhoods they've built and prosper there. The workers who keep our city running can actually afford to live in it. Small businesses can grow without drowning in bureaucracy. Streets are safer. Parks are cleaner. Transit actually connects people to where they need to go. Most importantly, in our gorgeous Miami, our magic city, you'll know that your mayor believes Miami's greatest strength is the diversity of its people. That no matter where you come from, who you love, who you worship, or what language you speak, you'll have a mayor and a city that works for you. Miami-Dade Dems, that is the Miami we're going to build. And we're not building it someday, we're building it on December 9th. So I'll see you at the polls.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached that time. We're going to try to get back on schedule, both for our live audience and for our elected officials who are on a little bit of a tight schedule. I recently had the pleasure of interviewing Attorney General Rob Bonta of California, and I'm going to give him credit for this phrase. He says, we need 3 C's. We need courts, crowds, and courage. And right now we've got the crowds and the courage, and more importantly, we've got the comedy stylings of Brittany Brave. Right on time.
Come on, don't give me that Broward County energy. Come on, don't give me that West Palm Boca bullshit. We're in Miami. Keep clapping, I need it. Keep clapping, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, I can't afford therapy, thank you. Thank you, I'm very broke, thank you. I identify as a nonprofit. My pronouns are 501c3. Do you get it, sir? Of course you do. You're a fucking Democrat like me. I'm happy to be here. This is an incredible event. We packed it out. Give it up for you guys. How about that? Give yourselves a round of applause. By being here and allowing me to perform, you are keeping me out of an OnlyFans. Thank you. Thank you. Some of the older women do not know what OnlyFans is. It's a sports betting platform. This is great. Clap it up for these 2 young women over here. They look like librarians. Clap it up for them. I like that energy. I like that energy. This crowd looks AI generated. I feel good, though. I am really honored to have been the comedic act for today. I feel good. I'm proud. I'm excited. I'm ovulating. Yes. No, ovulating in America right now is dangerous. No, I feel good. We are really, by being here today, this is bigger than a political act. This is bigger than anything. We are really making history. I do believe that there has never been this many Democrats in this room in Doral, Florida ever before. Ever. Truly. This is groundbreaking. I mean, if you go down the street to the sports grill, there's a MAGA cop sitting at the bar fucking sweating right now. I mean, okay, some of you understand that this is comedy, and then this side of the room thinks that this is a talent show. Really, I mean, I'm going to get through this 10 minutes, and I intend to have the walls of the Trump Hotel next to me shake, baby, yeah! I'm doing Kegels right now, okay. Every time I do Kegels, men hear the doors from Law and Order clunk, clunk, like yes. All right. I gotta be honest, usually when I'm in a room of this many old white men, clap it up, by the way, for old men in the room tonight. You too, Papa. You too, Rogaine. You too, Pickleball. That's right, Blue Chew. That's right. That's right. Oh, you two in the back, sir. Yes, absolutely. If you and I were intimate, my love life would be like a Life Alert commercial. He'd be like, I've fallen for you and I can't get it up. Okay, listen. I love this side of the room. I don't like you guys at all. But we're going to get there. This room is like our nation, divided. Usually, I really do. Usually I get excited when I'm in a room of this many rich old men because I'm like, I'm definitely going home with a sugar daddy. But, yes. No, honey, chill out. These are Democrats, not Republicans. So I will be hitting on Flo Rida later. Let's go! Okay. I can't believe I got up before noon for this. Okay. This is crazy. This is a big day for me as a comic. I shaved my legs. I got this outfit from Baby Gap. And I'm performing in front of an HR department. This is a really big day for me. I am happy to be here. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys something. I live in New York City now for comedy. But I am a Miami girl through and through. I was raised in Kendall. Where's Kendall at? Kendall. Let's go. Yes. Yes, we are trash. Yeah. Yeah, Kendall is trash. I have it tattooed on my right breast. Yeah. I got it at Inkaholics on Bird Road. It's been infected ever since. But I feel good about my choices, you know? I do like Kendall, though. I'm actually really proud to be from Kendall. Whenever people hear that you're from Miami, they think Miami Beach, they think Wynwood, they think Brickell, not me, baby, Kendall, scrappy. Yeah, that's right. I lost my virginity at Santa's Enchanted Forest. I did. Thank you so much. Thank you. Homegrown, baby. Yeah, I lost it to Santa. Listen, that's a light joke. You guys have to loosen up. Aren't you liberal? Okay. I love Miami, though. I do. I live in New York City now. When I'm in New York, everybody thinks that I'm Jewish. In Miami, they think Latina. And then I go anywhere else, like this room, and you guys are just like, you're annoying. And it's a Jerry Springer reaction. I did grow up here. I am not Latina, though. I am not. Yo soy gringa puta. No, that's not. I know what that word means. I learned it. Puta is Spanish for perfect little princess. Listen. Right? It's a term of endearment, right? I could call you that later. Okay. No, I'm pretty sure I'm booked on this event because I am the whitest comedian in Miami. I'm pretty sure. My name is Brittany Brave. That's a very American name, no? It's a very American name. It's very patriotic. It's very proud. My name might as well be Brittany Bald Eagle or Brittany Hot Dog or something really American like Brittany Recession Indicator. This side of the room is like Def Jam comedy. Jerry Springer, Comedy Central. You guys are honestly giving like Republican energy. This side of the room feels how it feels when I tell an abortion joke in this room on any given night. I'm not going to. I was told not to get political okay? And I can't get political because I went to public school and I'm stupid, okay? Wait, it's a joke. Whenever, I know. But listen, it's politically contentious times. Okay, so whenever people ask me what party I am, I just tell them pizza, like, slumber, yeah. This bitch is just clapping for pizza. That's great. Okay, this was really weird. I would have rather have stripped in front of my whole family than done this gig. But listen, I was told I can't get into abortion or gay stuff or, I was like, what is this, Turning Point USA? Okay, listen, all right, I'm going to leave you with this. It's a light one, I promise. All the white ladies have hemorrhoids right now from my set. I'm going to leave you with this. I did recently move back to New York City. I miss Miami so much. I'm so proud to be from here. I'm really proud to be from here. I'm actually making a movie about our entire comedy scene, and it's in post-production, and we have producers from Netflix and HBO on there. Yeah, it's great. It's going to come out next year. It's really good. I have noticed one really big difference between New York and Miami, if I can share it with you guys. It's in how they catcall women, right? I'm a big feminist, if you haven't gotten my vibe. I won Miami's Best Comedian 3 times. 3 times. The first woman to win it in history. I know, and I got it the old-fashioned way. I hooked up with all the comedy club owners. So, thank you. Yeah. In Miami, when they catcall women, it's very primal. It's a sexual city, right? It's a very hot city, Miami, right? Like whenever you ask men if they have a real job down here, they don't have an answer, right? Any Miami guy? Not in this room, obviously. They just go, listen to me. It's great. I got catcalled in 2020, actually, and a man leaned in and he said, take that mask off and let me see what your mouth do. It was crazy. We were outside in urgent care, and I hope 75% of you never come to any of my shows. I mean that sincerely, not a comedy crowd. But I'm going to leave you with this. I am a Democrat. I'm a big supporter of the Miami-Dade Dems. I love women. I love gays. I think you should identify how you want. I believe in free speech. I believe in science, logical things. I got catcalled recently in New York. I'll leave you with this. Very scary story. Different than getting catcalled in Miami. I got followed on the subway. Really scary. 2 a.m. Shouldn't have been by myself. I started to pull on my dress because I felt unsafe. I was by myself, pulling on my dress. This man leaned in and he said, "Cover up all you want, but everybody knows what's between your legs." I know, and I had to think fast, okay? I had to think fast and act fast, so I looked him in the face and I proudly said, "It's 2025, there's 8,000 different genders." No, you don't. Don't assume. All right, guys, I'm Amy Schumer. Thank you so much for having me. I know, I'm on keto. I know, you can't recognize it. Thank you so much.
Please welcome back to the stage our fabulous MCs, Katie Phang and Michael Popok.
Hello? Is that thing on? Here.
Brittany Brave, everybody. What an amazing... It's a hard room to work and a live stream at that. She did fantastic. So it's our it's that time. We've got one of our keynotes. We've got our keynote.
As everybody's enjoying their delicious food.
Yep. We have the Honorable Representative Jamie Raskin. I'm going to give the skinny, and then I'm going to turn it over to Katie, who's got a good relationship, of course, with Representative Raskin. He represents Maryland's 8th Congressional District, but he really represents all Americans and our democratic values. He's the ranking member on the House Judiciary Committee, and he's, of course, he was on the Jan 6 committee as well, the Select Committee to investigate Jan 6 attack. He's a professor of constitutional law and was at American University for over 25 years. He was in the state Senate in Maryland before that. And we could not do what we do as a party nationally if we didn't have Representative Jamie Raskin in the news, on television, doing the hard questioning and cross-examination during oversight hearings. And it's such an honor to be able to have him, right, Katie, here in Miami-Dade supporting what we're doing here.
Yeah, another thing that Jamie Raskin did was he was the lead impeachment manager. Oh! Well, gosh. We were still introducing you, but it's fine now.
Keep going.
Jamie
Give it up
Raskin,
for Representative Jamie Raskin.
Oh, what's he gonna do? You gonna get down?
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Katie.
Oh, what you gonna do?
Thank you, you fine, beautiful Miami-Dade Democrats. Wow, what an honor and pleasure it is to be with you guys as we're fighting to take back the House in 2026 and the Senate in 2026. And we're going to win the governorship in Florida. We're going to win Attorney General in Florida. We're going to make it happen right here. We're going to win the mayor. We got the next mayor right here. Right here.
Sure.
Wow, and thank you for the beautiful weather. I could use that. You know, we get summer back in Maryland and D.C. too, but it's just kind of different. I like to say on Capitol Hill, it's not the heat, it's the stupidity. And we got plenty of that to go around. Plenty of that to go around. We're here with all these fine local officials and state officials and some state senators. State Senator Jones is here, I think. I met some state Senate candidates, and it made me a little nostalgic thinking about the beginning of my career. I ran for the state Senate in 2006, and I ran against a 32-year incumbent who was the president pro tem of the Maryland Senate. And I tell you this story because You know, everybody says the Florida Dems are down, but the Florida Dems are coming back. And this story is about that because when I first announced, there was an article in our local newspaper that said Raskin's chances of victory are considered impossible. Impossible running against this 32-year incumbent who was the boss of our local machine. 9 months later, we got 67% of the vote. And the Washington Post had another article about the race, quoting a pundit who said Raskin's victory was inevitable. So we went from impossible to inevitable in 9 months because the pundits are never wrong, right? But I want you to know, and this is what I tell the young people in our Democracy Summer Project, in politics, nothing's impossible, nothing's inevitable. It's only possible through the democratic arts of education, organizing, mobilizing, galvanizing people for change. And that's why I'm here in Florida, because I know there's a fighting Democratic Party here. To be a Democrat in Florida, you got to know why you're a Democrat. You got to know what it is that you believe in. So I thought maybe let's start with this. Anybody here proud to be a Democrat? Anybody here proud of the Democrats in Virginia, New Jersey, New York, California, Mississippi, and Georgia? We won everywhere last Tuesday, everywhere. And the rest of the country, including Florida, is going to get its turn in 2026. And even before that, in the mayor's race, right here. Donald Trump said he wanted to squeeze 5 more House seats out of Texas, right? And they took out the House seats of my colleagues, Henry Cuellar, Vicente Gonzalez, Al Green, Greg Casar, Julie Johnson, 3 Hispanic Americans, 1 African American, the first LGBTQ person ever elected to Congress from Texas. That's who they targeted. Those are the districts that they attempted to dismantle. And then I heard from some people saying, well, we can't do it back to them. 2 wrongs don't make a right, okay? Let's hear it for the people of California who passed Prop 50 and showed them exactly what it means to be a fighting Democrat in the 21st century. We tried to get rid of partisan redistricting for more than a decade. It was the first plank in the For the People Act to get rid of partisan redistricting. You remember it, Debbie Murkowski-Powell. We voted for that. We fought for that. And guess who voted for that? Every Democrat voted to get rid of partisan gerrymandering in America. And guess who voted against it? Every Republican. And then they decided it wasn't enough to be doing it every 10 years. They wanted to do it every 2 years in Texas. So it is not remotely moral or ethical to say we're going to unilaterally disarm in front of authoritarians who want to decide who's going to win the House of Representatives before a single vote is cast. Thank you, California, and we're going to do it all over the country to fight back wherever we can. And by the way, the destruction of the Voting Rights Act by the Roberts Court set the stage for this brutal MAGA gerrymandering. In 2013, in Shelby County versus Holder, they struck down the so-called pre-clearance requirement, which says in all the covered jurisdictions, you submit any changes to voting directly to the Department of Justice or to a federal district court. They got rid of that. They abolished that, which is why we have hundreds of new voting restrictions and voter suppression mechanisms all throughout the South and throughout the country, but especially in the Deep South. They throw people off the rolls if they miss one election. They throw people off the rolls for no reason at all. They have closed polling places, hundreds of polling places throughout the South. I was in Austin. They merged 2 polling places. There used to be 2 for where the students live at UT Austin. They closed one of them. They moved the other to the basement of a science lab or something like that. This is going on throughout the country. So they took down Section 5. There's no pre-clearance. Now, in the Calais case out of Louisiana, they want to take down the rest of the Voting Rights Act in Section 2. The so-called non-retrogression component of the Voting Rights Act is there, meaning you can't turn the clock back. And if they win on that, as they may well do in this gerrymandered, stacked and packed Supreme Court under Donald Trump, well, then they're going to try to overturn more than a dozen other districts. The only thing that we can do is to fight back and organize everywhere, in every district. And that's how we're going to win. And then we're going to fight to defend the elections that we win. So, they've got no program to run on. We know that. I was at the State of the Union joint session when this nightmare started at the beginning of the year. And Donald Trump was there. And each of us gets to bring one guest with us. I brought a constituent named Lauren McGee, Dr. Lauren McGee, who's the chief biologist and doctor for pediatric cancer research at NIH, which is in my district. She was my guest. She'd been fired on February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day from Elon Musk. The Valentine's Day massacre. They fired her because she was on probation, right? And Trump figured that doesn't sound very good. It sounds like you knocked over a gas station or tried to steal an election or something like that. No, she was on probation because she'd been promoted with superior evaluations from below to become the head of the office. But anyway, she got fired, so I invited her to come to talk about what they were doing to all the medical investigation at NIH. You know, they've been trying to dismantle research into all of the killer diseases of our time: cystic fibrosis, multiple sclerosis, breast cancer, colon cancer, malignant narcissistic personality disorder, all of them, right? So anyway, I brought her there, and Trump gets up, and he's got Elon Musk. Trump starts out by saying, and I never heard it before, and I never heard it since. It was eerie. He said, our #1 priority is to wipe out childhood cancer in America. And I couldn't believe that. And I'm with the chief biologist of the Childhood Cancer Research Unit, and he's saying he's going to wipe out childhood cancer. Then he turns to introduce Elon Musk, and he says, Elon Musk, he's doing such a great job. You know, the first thing they did was they got rid of 17 inspectors general, the people whose real job it is to ferret out waste, fraud, corruption, abuse, and self-dealing, so Trump could put his people in, and they could begin the process of plundering and looting the federal government. They've cost us billions of dollars. But anyway, he says, you know, Elon Musk is doing such a great job. Look at all this stuff he found. And he starts reading down the list, and then he says, he got rid of $9.5 million that they were spending at NIH to create transgender mice. And I was kind of alarmed by this, right? This didn't sound very good. $9.5 million to create transgender mice? Maybe there's something to this whole MAGA Doge thing after all. So I text my guest who's seated up in the gallery, and I said, did you guys spend $9.5 million on creating transgender mice? She said, she writes back, this was debunked 2 weeks ago. There was a line item to create for $9.5 million for the creation of transgenic mice, okay, which are mice injected with DNA so they can do research on breast cancer and leukemia and so on. We are being governed by morons, you know, and so then I say to her, do you want to go? I felt so ashamed, although I've got nothing to do with the guy, but I felt so ashamed that she came out. She's got to hear that their #1 priority is to end childhood cancer, and then this lie about creating transgender mice. I said, you want to go? She goes, no, I want to see the rest of this. So we're sitting there for like 3.5 hours. It's interminable. It's like a Fidel Castro-length speech Trump gives us. So finally, it's over. And we walk out. We go outside. Next thing you know, a car plows into the back of a parked police cruiser right outside of the Capitol. Wow. Who was that? Well, that was Speaker Mike Johnson's chief of staff who did that. He was drinking the entire time. Now, you can't blame him for that, okay? But he didn't have to get in his car and ram into a police cruiser. And so they open up the door, staggers out, they administer the breathalyzer. It's like, 5,876,000,000 and everything. And Johnson immediately, on the spot, issues a statement. All will be forgiven. We're forgiving people. And he's a great soldier and everything. There's a reporter there who came up to me and said, Congressman Raskin, what do you think about this? And I said, to me, it goes to show that there are way too many DUI hires in the new Republican administration, starting with Secretary Pete Hegseth, okay, another DUI hire. My friends, every day I am proud to be a Democrat fighting for democracy and freedom and human rights in America. I'm proud to be a Democrat. Sometimes, our colleagues across the aisle, they can't correctly pronounce the name of our party in its adjectival form. And I mixed it up with my friend Lauren Boebert from Colorado about this. We were on the floor and she started this thing. A congresswoman spoke, I think it was maybe Nancy Pelosi, and then it was that Democrat congresswoman with her Democrat bill and her Democrat amendment. And this drives me crazy. And for 7 years, I would politely get up and I would say, actually, no, Democrat is the noun, okay? Democratic is the adjective. You got to say the Democratic congresswoman, the Democratic bill. No, it was the Democrat. So I tried to correct her. Then they all piled on, like, Chip Roy is in there, Jim Jordan, all of them. Democrat this, Democrat that. They know it gets on my nerves. So I lost my temper and I got up. I said, you know what? You guys have this self-imposed political speech impediment. Okay? And it's contagious. It's coming over to our side. Now, whenever I try to say the name of your party, it just comes out the Banana Republican Party, the Banana Republican Congresswoman, the Banana Republican bill. And I went home, and I told my wife, and I said, Sarah, I finally got them back after all these years, because I'm always complaining about, that. And you know what she said? She said, that was an extremely immature response, okay? And now, but here's the lucky thing, though, okay? I was reading a great book at the time by H.W. Brands, the Texas historian, called Traitor to His Class, about Franklin D. Roosevelt. I learned something remarkable from that book. Roosevelt did not call our party the Democratic Party, much less the Democrat Party, okay? He did what Andrew Jackson did. He called us the democracy. With a capital D, he said the democracy. So he'd give a speech and he'd say, the economic royalists, the plutocrats, say invest in the wealthiest people and corporations in America and let some of the wealth dribble down on everybody else. But the democracy says invest in the great American working middle class. We will all rise and prosper together. That's the doctrine of the democracy. So now, when they can't pronounce the name of our party, I say, just do what Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt did. Call us the democracy. That's what we are today. You know that, right? We're the only party in America that will stand up for everybody's right to vote. Even if you're not going to vote for us, we will stand up for your right. Here we are. We got 400 or 500 of the greatest activists in Florida politics, subject to every manner of disenfranchisement, voter suppression, gerrymandering. And have you ever been in a meeting with Democrats where somebody says, hey, how are we going to disenfranchise that community? How are we going to suppress the vote of those people over there? Democrats take the high road. We campaign based on our record and based on what we want to do. We don't try to strangle off the political opposition. And we stand up for democracy, not just in America, all over the world. We stand up for the people of Ukraine fighting off that filthy, imperialist, fascist invasion by Vladimir Putin. We are the democracy at this point. People all over the world are counting on the democracy at this point, on us to pull through. So I say to you, great Florida Democrats, it's not just about your being able to win. It's about us being able to win all over the country and all over the world, because democracy is under attack by the autocrats, the kleptocrats, the theocrats, and the plutocrats. And we're fighting that right here in America. Our Constitution, my friends, you know I'm the ranking member of the Judiciary Committee. Our Constitution's under attack every single day, right from the very start of it. I used to be a professor of constitutional law. One thing I never taught, shamefully, was the preamble. You know, because it's not law. You can't sue somebody under the preamble. But the preamble sets the whole thing out. And they're destroying it. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and preserve to ourselves and our posterity the blessings of liberty, do hereby ordain and establish the Constitution of these United States. And the very next sentence, all of that popular sovereignty that creates the Constitution and the country flows right into the first sentence of Article 1. All legislative power is vested in a Congress of the United States. Vested in a Congress, okay? That's the lawmaking power. We've got the power to declare war. Not Donald Trump, not Tulsi Gabbard, not J.D. Vance, not their internet private chat group. They don't have the right to declare war. It's us. Why? Because the framers understood that kings were constantly plunging their countries into petty wars of conceit and vanity and imperial plunder. And they said something as serious as life and death must be reposed in the hands of the representatives of the people. We've got the power to impose taxes and tariffs, not Donald Trump. It's always been Congress under Article 1. There's the power of the purse. He's the first president ever to try to impose tariffs on foreign countries. He has no power to do so in the Constitution. Presidents only get it from Congress. We didn't give him that power. He makes up tariffs as a matter of pure whimsy. He said, he's going to, he'll put 100% tariff on this country, 50% tariff on that country, 40% tariff on that country. That's not how it's done. He's putting tariffs on countries where we have major trade surpluses, right? So we'll see if the Supreme Court, if the Roberts Court this time can act like a real court and restore the Constitution there. Article 1, you go all the way through Article 1, you get to Article 1, Section 8, Clause 18, and all other powers necessary and proper to the execution of the foregoing powers, right? Sometimes people say, even my beloved Nancy Pelosi, I've heard her say this, I've had to disagree with her about this and probably only this, and I've said, they get up and they say, we're co-equal branches. They're repeating this 5th grade dogma, right? We're co-equal branches. Well, first of all, co-equal is not even a word, okay? That word doesn't exist. That's like extremely unique or something like that. Okay? That's not a real word. Are we equal branches? Well, let's see. We've got the entire lawmaking power because we overthrew a king, and our framers wanted to put power in the hands of Congress. Well, what is the president's job? Well, sometimes people say commander-in-chief. Yeah, commander-in-chief, not of the nation, not of the government, commander-in-chief of the Army and the Navy and the militias in times of actual service. So what's the president's core job? Read Article 2. By the way, the biggest part of Article 2 is the paragraph which says, a president shall be removed from office upon impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, and other high crimes and misdemeanors. Okay, now, if we're co-equal branches, why do we have the power to impeach, try, convict, remove, and disqualify for life the president, and he doesn't have the power to do the same to us, right? Okay, what's the core job of the president? Very easy. To take care that the laws are faithfully executed. That's it. To take care that the laws are faithfully executed. Not warped, not deformed, not distorted, not rejected, not impounded, not misdirected, not redirected. Take care that the laws are faithfully executed. Or as I told Donald Trump at the Democratic convention, to take care that the laws are faithfully executed, not that the vice president is executed. You remember back to January 6, 2021. it is the role of the courts to enforce the boundaries among the branches and then to defend the rights of the people. Chief Justice Marshall says in Marbury versus Madison, it's emphatically the province and the duty of the courts to say what the law is. No, J.D. Vance, it's not up to President Trump to define what the powers of the presidency are. We'll take care of that. Thank you, Mr. Vance. A Yale Law School wasted on education, wasted on him, obviously. But look, my friends, all of this is really for protecting the rights of the people. It's about the people. And every part of the Bill of Rights is under attack right now. The freedom of speech. Donald Trump is personally suing ABC, CBS, NBC, 60 Minutes, BBC, I think he sued over the weekend. Why? He doesn't like something they said about him. That is the First Amendment. That's what the freedom of speech is. But he's armed with the Federal Communications Commission. He's got the FCC holding up people's licenses, holding up their transfers, holding up their mergers, unless they cooperate with his shakedown. It's a scandalous assault on freedom of speech. The Associated Press got banned from the White House. Why? Because they insisted on calling the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of Mexico. You've got the right to tell the truth under the First Amendment, right? You can speak your mind, but you certainly have the right to tell the truth under the First Amendment. Everything's under attack. The separation of church and state, under attack. When my colleagues got up on the floor not long ago, he says, the moral downfall of America was in 1962 in Engel versus Vitale, when the Supreme Court banned prayer in the public schools. And I got up and I said, you know what? The Supreme Court never banned prayer in the public schools. As long as there are pop math quizzes, there will be prayer in the public schools. Anybody can pray whenever he or she wants to pray. All the court said was the government cannot produce a script and compel your children to participate in it. Okay? That's what the court said. It doesn't end with these people. You saw Texas and Louisiana. Last month, they voted to endorse the 10 Commandments and post the 10 Commandments in every school classroom. They didn't say which 10 Commandments because there are about 50 different versions of it that you can find online. But anyway, I knew it was going to happen. My MAGA colleagues show up and they say, well, now it's time for us to endorse the 10 Commandments. We need to post the 10 Commandments in Congress and in the federal buildings. I said, gee, you know, the 10 Commandments have been doing fine for millennia without an endorsement by the House of Representatives and the Freedom Caucus. No, this one guy says to me, you know the 10 Commandments are the basis for the Bill of Rights. And I got confused, you know. I was like, well, I do know there's 10 in each one. Let me think about that for a second. Let's test the proposition. The first commandment says, thou shalt have no other God before me. The First Amendment says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. Okay? How does the First Commandment dictate the First Amendment? We go to the Rules Committee. They want an up or down vote, all 10 commandments. I said, you know what? If we're going to vote on the 10 commandments in 2025, we should vote on each commandment separately, okay? Not the omnibus package they're trying to get away with. And in truth, you shouldn't be able to vote for any commandment you yourself have ever violated, okay? You'll be taking the name of the Lord in vain in violation of the third commandment. One of them says you're making a mockery of the whole thing. I said, you know what? You guys are making a mockery out of the whole thing. Your legislation is not only unconstitutional, it's blasphemous at the same time. Like, let's maintain the separation of church and state, but it doesn't end with these people. Due process under attack every day in America, right? Masked men in unmarked cars making warrantless arrests of people in our communities. They've declared war on cities in America. They've created like war zones throughout America. One guy on the floor says to me, well, you're not saying you support due process for guilty people, are you? And I'm like, that's the whole point. Okay, we don't know if they're guilty until there's been due process. That's why we've got due process in America. So, anyway, look. Let me just say a couple more things to you great Florida Democrats. One of them is we are a big tent. We must be a huge, vast tent. I say this is a party that's got room for Marjorie Taylor Greene if she wants to come over. We got room for anybody who wants to stand up for the Constitution and for the Bill of Rights today. One of my colleagues who left from South Carolina, Trey Gowdy, said to me on the way out, he said, you know, Raskin, you're not a bad guy. The problem with you is you're a liberal. I said, you're damn right I'm a liberal. The heart of that word is liberty. And I'm a progressive because the heart of that word is progress. But my favorite thing to call myself today is a conservative because I want to conserve the land, the air, the water, the climate system, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, the Affordable Care Act, the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, the National Labor Relations Act, the Fair Labor Standards Act, the Voting Rights Act, Clean Air Act, Clean Water Act, everything that party of authoritarians wants to destroy is everything we're going to conserve and defend in America. We are the party of the conservatives, the liberals, and the progressives. All the patriots today are in the party of democracy. That's who we are. I'll leave you, my friends, with the words of some of the great democracy patriots and heroes I've kept so close to my heart through this difficult time. Frederick Douglass, who was born, just about 40 minutes away from my home in Maryland on the Wye River Plantation. He was born into slavery. He escaped from slavery to become our great freedom fighter through the Civil War, through Reconstruction. And Douglass said, if there's no struggle, there's no progress. And the struggle may be moral, it may be physical, it may be moral and physical, but there must be struggle. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never has, and it never will. A message to you from Frederick Douglass and the people of Maryland. Thomas Jefferson, he got a letter from a friend of his, John Taylor, in 1798, at the time of the Alien and Sedition Acts, which have suddenly come back into vogue in the Trump administration. But this guy wrote him and he said, I can't believe we're in the same country that just had a revolution against tyranny and autocrats, and now they're rounding up newspaper editors, they're arresting dangerous, subversive Frenchmen on the streets. And he said, what's going on? And I'm losing hope. And Jefferson wrote him back this beautiful letter, and he said, a little patience, and the reign of witches shall pass over. Their spells dissolve, and the people recovering their true sight recover the true principles of their government. In the meantime, we're suffering all of the horrors and malignities of this dark time. But if the game runs against us sometimes, said Jefferson, we must have patience, because this is a game where principles are at stake. A message to you from Thomas Jefferson, and I'll leave you with the words of the great Tom Paine, who got over here in 1774. And he fell in love with the promise of America. He said, if this land lives up to its values and ideals, it will become an asylum to humanity, he said. Not an insane asylum, mind you, but a place of refuge for people seeking freedom from political and religious and intellectual persecution from all over the world. And he wrote the great pamphlet of our history, Common Sense, which ignited the American Revolution. And by common sense, he meant the sense we have in common, the sixth sense we have if we're willing to reason and speak together without dogma and superstition, what we would call in our time propaganda and disinformation and fake news, common sense. But anyway, it was a tough year, 1776. George Washington had the troops at Valley Forge reading Common Sense to each other by campfire light. But he wanted to write another pamphlet to give people hope and strength to get through that long, dark winter. And so he wrote this pamphlet called The American Crisis. I want to recite a little passage for you But pursuant to strict instructions from Nancy Pelosi, I'm going to update the language so it doesn't offend modern sensibilities. And she said Tom Paine was a feminist, and that he was. He was fighting for women's voting rights in the 18th century. But anyway, he said in the American Crisis, he said, "These are the times that try men and women's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will shrink at this moment from the service of their cause and their country. But everyone that stands with us now will win the love and the favor and the affection of every man and every woman for all time. Tyranny," he said, "like hell, is not easily conquered, but we have this saving consolation. The more difficult the struggle, the more glorious in the end will be our victory. Let's make that victory ours, Miami-Dade, Florida. Thank you for having me. Give them hell all the way to victory in 2026.
Representative Jamie Raskin. Keep it going. And I think we've now got a new name for the Miami-Dade Dems. It's the Miami-Dade Democracy. So glad that Representative Raskin could come in here. If we could just harness a little bit of his energy and take it with us to the polls. December 9 is going to be a great and sweet day for us, and then we're less than a year until the midterms. Now it's my great honor to also introduce Senator Ruben Gallego of Arizona. Senator Gallego was on his way here. He had a family issue that put him aside, but we do have a great message that he created special for this room. So I introduce Senator Ruben Gallego. Okay. I'm just looking for a high sign. Are we going to get the video to work? Or should we move along in our program? It's going to work? All right, let's tee it up.
Hello, Miami-Dade friends. I'm sorry I couldn't join you guys. I want to make sure I talk to you a little in my absence. And again, please, I'll make this up to you guys. We have something health come up in the family, and we want to make sure we're staying close to our kids. But you guys are still going to be extremely important this upcoming election, with redistricting coming even more so. You're going to have some swing districts right there. And we know that now the Democrats are on the upswing. We have the energy behind us. We have Latinos that are finally recognizing that this Republican Party has been lying to them about their families, about their culture, about everything that they have been trying to get them to run away from the Democratic Party. So this is the year to get more involved, to fight back. And every day it's going to matter. And every day the Miami-Dade Democrats step into that voting booth or step into that fight, get someone else registered to vote, and turn these elections little by little. We can make a big, big difference, and certainly be ready for 2026 and 2028 and beyond. So again, my apologies. I will make this up to you for whenever is a more convenient time for y'all, and look forward to seeing you guys and seeing you guys to victory. Thanks.
That was Senator Ruben Gallego. For those that don't know him, he's a leader out of Arizona, the son of immigrants. He's the first Latino senator from Arizona. He was in the U.S. Marines. He served proudly in Iraq with Lima Company, and he fights hard for defending democracy and voting rights, veterans issues, and those related to immigrants.
And we also have now, we're going to hear from Stacey Abrams, one of those leaders that you actually feel her impact, even if you don't know her. As we know, she came within a hair of flipping Georgia when she ran, but she's built a national movement around fair elections and voting integrity through organizations like Fair Fight and the New Georgia Project. She's helped millions of people engage in the political process. And if you don't know, she's an author, an entrepreneur, she's a lawyer, but one of the things that we definitely know is she understands what determination is. So we've got Stacey Abrams.
Miami-Dade Democrats, I am so delighted to be talking to you all today as you attend the Blue Bash Brunch. Try to say that 3 times fast. I'd like to give a special shout out to Chair Laura Kelly, all elected officials, sponsors, and every single attendee this afternoon. Thank you for your unwavering dedication to our party, to our people, and the fight for democracy in the face of authoritarianism. All around us, the debate seems to be about how far left or how far right we should move. But that's the wrong frame. This isn't about left versus right. This is about right versus wrong. And now more than ever, we must be the party that sees people and serves them, not judges them and their value. We have an extraordinary opportunity to use this crisis and these recent elections to meet the moment. You see, every family deserves the freedom to feel safe in their homes, in the neighborhoods they choose. They should be able to earn a good living at a good job. They should be able to breathe clean air and drink clean water and afford to dream, not just survive. They should be able to raise their children in an America where they will do better than their parents, regardless of their zip code, their skin color, or their last name. That is the real America, where the working class is a way station to the middle class, and the middle class is what makes the upper class even possible. A place where justice, security, equality, freedom, and fairness ensure true opportunity for all. But that means we must fight for the rights and dignity of the most vulnerable among us. We must reclaim the obligations of personal responsibility as the way to strengthen our social bonds and to protect our most fundamental rights. In these times, we must stand together in our communities with a clear mission: to fight. When I was minority leader in Georgia, I remember how hard it all felt to meet that call, to find ways to serve every constituent, regardless of whether we shared the same politics. You see, in the Democratic Party, we were climbing out of a deep pit of disappointment and despair. So we had to get creative. We refused to stay in our lanes, and instead, we decided to lead with ambition, with moral clarity, with ingenuity. Together, we charted a course to battle voter suppression, advocate for the expansion of Medicaid, and to try to make life more affordable for our neighbors. And we're still at it, and we're still making progress. We didn't start with many resources, but what we did have was passion, purpose, and a vision for the future. And that was enough to inspire others to join us and to stand on the front lines for what is right. Today, the mission you have is no different. You've been called to lead, to begin your crusade one neighbor at a time, one community at a time. Start where you can see opportunity, not victory. Take the small steps and build towards tackling the big problems. As you'll hear from others this afternoon, I'm asking you to dig deep to protect democracy. Not the idea, but the reality that democracy is how we share power and win progress. But power takes investment. So please, give what you can, and remember that no matter the size of the gifts, they all add up to big wins. But the bigger the better. And remember, when we see things are broken, as Democrats, we see it as a call to fix them and then build something better that will last. That is our mission, that is our crusade, and we're going to get it done. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.
We're so grateful for Stacey Abrams, for her leadership, and for the love that she shows the sister state of Florida. And now we actually have the privilege of being with another barrier breaker, somebody who said, the ceiling, what the hell is that? And that would be our Miami-Dade Mayor, Daniela Levine Cava.
Oh yeah, oh, what a night.
Well, I don't know about you, but I am jazzed. Who is jazzed in this room? Oh my goodness, what a great, great time to be together, Democrats! And you know, I live in this nonpartisan world, right? So it feels really good, really good. Thank you. Okay. Well, I want to thank especially our Democratic Party leader, Laura Kelly. Yay, Laura. Sue Whitman. Yay. Our state leader, Nikki Freed. Woo, Nikki. Notice a lot of ladies here in the house, but many more for bringing us together. You organize, you mobilize, you're doing this work every single day to protect our values and move our community forward. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You give me hope. You give me hope. So I want to thank all of you, everyone here, the volunteers, the organizers, the activists, the neighbors, the friends who show up again and again. I know there's volunteers who've worked on my campaigns. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You show up again and again. Why? Because you love this county, you love this country, and you believe in what we can build together. As our Congressman Jamie Raskin told us, it's on us. It's on all of us. And the whole world is leaning, counting on us. So let's do it. So today we're not just celebrating progress. I love the definition of progressives, liberals, and conservatives. I'm all down for that. We're building momentum. I feel it. I feel it. And so it is a real joy to be here with so many dedicated community leaders, people who are determined to make Miami-Dade County stronger, Florida stronger, fairer, and more resilient. And I see it in this room. I know the heart and soul of the folks here. Our organizers, advocates, public servants, and passionate residents who believe deeply in the power of working together. As my favorite Joyce Vance says, we're in this together. Yes, we are. Miami-Dade has always been a place that has not just been defined by our diversity, but by our diversity of dreams. Right here in this room and outside, it's dreamers everywhere, still part of the American dream. And so we know families come here from all over the world. They're searching for opportunity. They're searching for safety, for freedom, and a chance to build something better. And we honor them. We want to make sure that their dreams can stay alive. I know I do. And it requires us to show up with energy, with clarity of purpose, and with a commitment to one another. We're living through a time when the big challenges before us are really big, like housing affordability, climate resilience, economic mobility, and everyday quality of life issues. They shape every resident's ability to thrive, and the challenges don't stop. They didn't stop. They haven't stopped. Even though we're working like the Dickens, me, Commissioner Gilbert, future Mayor Eileen Higgins, we're all working hard. So many others in this room to make it happen. So we can't take a day off, even a Sunday. No, we can't take a day off, although this does really feel fun. And it means that our leadership cannot take a day off either. So there's some really good news. The dessert has arrived. No, there's some really good news. We know how to solve problems. We've done it before. We've tackled crises. I know I have. We've rebuilt after storms or building collapses. We've protected our most vulnerable neighbors. We've pushed forward innovative solutions on transportation, environment, and public safety. And Miami-Dade doesn't wait for someone else to come along and fix things. No, no, no. We step up, we collaborate, and we lead with heart, always with heart. So today I am asking each of you to tap into that spirit once again. We need you. This is the moment. Our community needs leaders who are energized, who are informed, and who are ready to rally around a positive vision for the future. Leadership isn't just about holding office. A few of us get to do that, but we can only succeed with all of you. It's about inspiring action across our community. It's about being a spark that ignites participation, conversation, and progress, the progressives. And in the city of Miami, we see the power of organizing and mobilizing around an inspiring candidate. Woo-wee! Where is she? Where is she? All right, she's inspiring us. She's my dear friend, Eileen Higgins. We've worked side by side for a decade. And she's on the cusp of making history and putting an end to the chaos that is plaguing Miami today. Yes, with your help. So let's be clear. Local leadership is where the most meaningful change begins, right? We don't care what they say. We're going to get it right here. We're going to do it. We don't have to wait for solutions to come from far away. We are the ones that are creating the housing initiatives. We are supporting small businesses. We're protecting our environment. And we're ensuring that our children have safe places to learn and grow. And we're the ones who are shaping Miami-Dade's future, street by street, neighborhood by neighborhood. Thank you. So, Miami-Dade Democrats, are you in this with us? Are you ready to fight? Stand up if you recommit to the fight. Stand up, fight back. Stand up.
This is the mic that doesn't work, and my voice is shut. I would like to introduce Miss Vanna Not White. Would you please come up? Woo-hoo-hoo. So, I spent a lot of time in Los Angeles, and as a result of that, I fell in love with movie posters. Movie posters come in all sizes, in all shapes. We all know our favorite movies. And today, from a dear friend of mine in LA, I am here to auction off an original West Wing poster. This is not a reproduction. This is an actual poster that was made when this show started. It is signed by every single one of the members of the original cast. Does anybody remember Martin Sheen? Woohoo! How about my personal favorite, Stockard Channing? So we have heard today a lot of stories about where we're at as a party and where we want to go. But I want to share with you a very personal story. About last July, I'm sorry, I'll make this short. I know you're trying to enjoy your time too. Last July, Chair Kelly asked me to step in as finance chair because there's something we all know. Every journey begins with a single step, but every political campaign begins with a single dollar. That is the truth of it. So I stepped in, and one of the first things we did is we wrote a letter talking about the rampant, overly zealous administration of her duties by our new supervisor of elections, Alina Garcia. Boo! So by May, she had moved about 250,000 voters off the voter rolls, and there was no end in sight. Thank you, JC! JC Planis is in the house. Anyway, I'm not saying there was anything untoward done, but it's interesting that only 18% of these voters were Republicans. Something's odd about that. So I knew that in order for us to move forward for 2026, irrespective of how great our candidates are, and we have a lot of great candidates running in this race. I could go on and on about all of them, and many of them are in the room today, and thank you for coming. But what I also know is that unless we have voters registered to vote, we cannot win an election, not in Miami-Dade County. And to get people registered to vote, we need to have money so that we can go find these lapsed voters, so we can make phone calls, and we can get our show on the road. And in fact, in connection with the mayoral election just in this last couple weeks, the Democratic Executive Committee of Miami-Dade made over 300,000 phone calls. Think about that. Thank you for the bubbles. This is when you want to put your bubbles in the air. So all of that was made possible by funds that came pouring in as a result of this email that I sent. But I want to share one quick story about an email that I got. All of a sudden one day, $10,000 arrived in our bank account. $10,000. That is a lot of money. It was from a man named Dr. Paul Pomberg. And he had gotten my email and sight unseen, hi, are you going to auction this too? Are you helping me out? Yeah. You might buy it. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. All right. This is called insider trading. I am so sorry. No way. Anyway, we called Dr. Palmberg and said, thank you very much for your check. And he said, anything to help the party. You need it. Now, he could not be here today, but I want you to know I pretty much burst into tears when that check came in the door, because it's incredible to me how so many people, without knowing any of us, Chair Kelly is new, I am new, our comms director, Brad Bauman from DC, is new. We have a whole new group of people. And without even knowing what we're doing, people put their faith in us. Now, we've managed to raise so far from this event, drum roll, who's got the drum, about $137,000. But I want to raise that to at least 145. So Michael's got the program there, I think. And in your program, you've got a beautiful little QR code. All right? We started a new program. It's called Sustainer. You've all heard of it. Monthly donors are the backbone of every organization, and that's true of ours as well. We have an angel donor who has stepped in and will match every $25 monthly sustaining donation straight through until November of 2026. There is probably very few people in this room who could not afford $5 or $10 or $15 or $25 a month to support their local Democratic Executive Committee, and we need it now more than we ever have. So I want everybody to take a snap on their phone before they leave this room. If you love Brittany, if you love Jamie Raskin, if you love Chair Kelly, if you love Michael and Katie, who came here just on a quick, hey, can you do this for us? And yeah, we're in. All these people have come together for the party, and we're asking you to step up as well. So thank you for that. Now, on to the main event. This poster, fully framed, based on and I've got the certificate of authenticity. Thank you, Vanna. Thank you. This is worth about right now on the open market, framed with museum quality glass. Museum quality glass, I'm telling you. By the way, who likes Rob Lowe that's a female in this room? His signature is on this, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to start the bidding for this, but wait, there's more. Where is the lovely Melissa, who is our manager extraordinaire of this establishment? And a big shout out to the Improv. Big, big, big shout out. They stepped up. When I told Melissa that we were going to be auctioning this off, this is what she said to me. Oh, I'll throw in a $400 gift certificate to the comedy club. So now with that thrown in, I am opening the bidding for this at $1,000. Do I hear any bids for $1,000? From the lady in the back of the room. We have 1,000. Somebody has to be my eyes. Who can watch for me? Do I see somebody else? Another hand. Come on.
There's a hand, there's a hand.
There's one. Christian,
Sue,
over.
we got a hand over
Thank
here.
you.
We got another hand.
Do I hear 1,500? 1,500.
What's a big leap, Sue?
I know. I'm leaping at twos now, so we're at 1,200. 1,500. Do I hear
1,500?
Where's that? Oh, there's 1,500.
Oh.
Thank you. Woo! How about 17? Anybody at 17?
1,700.
Christians, we're in a bidding war. All right, it's getting dirty.
No pressure.
Jackets off.
Javi, no pressure.
1850.
1850, Javi.
1850.
I'm going to
Christian,
shame you into it.
Come on. Come on. What about that lady in the back of the room? Oh, my gosh. 1850. 1850. Marlon Ebert's walking out because she doesn't want to bid. I'm only kidding. All right. I'm going to close this at 1850.
No, we're not.
2,000.
2,000. 2,000.
Are you out?
2,100.
22. 22.
2,200.
24.
Hot damn.
Sue, you don't close until there's no more bids.
I know.
Keep on going.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is not my expertise, right?
We had 2,300, 2,300, 2,300.
Anybody else? 24.
23.
20 feet. Going once.
He just bid against himself.
Going twice. Sold for $2,300.
$2,300.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the handsome gentleman in the sport coat. All righty, we're getting the program moving along for all of you fine folks. We talked about Mayor Daniela Levine Cava breaking barriers, but you know there was somebody who kicked ass statewide. The last Democrat to hold a statewide office would be Nikki Fried. And now she's the chair of our Florida Democratic Party, and we're going to welcome her to the stage, Nikki Fried.
Hey! Got to pay back.
Miami!
Revenge.
Thank you so much for having me here today. It is so good to be home. Don't mistake the lily dress for losing my 305 like creds. But truly, Miami-Dade, you know, I was also a Kendall girl, born and raised all right, Kendall, born at Baptist, went to Palmetto High, Palmetto Middle. My parents actually went to Carl Park for all of our Westchester people in the house. I know, dated guys from Sunset, Scumscat, so got my Miami. But truly, thank you so much for being here today. Yes, I know, Wes, I got it, Ricky. But truly, having you all here today and seeing the momentum, and Laura, I cannot say thank you enough for what you have done to Miami-Dade County. Because Laura is right. The entire country looks at what happens in Miami-Dade. It is the only city in the nation that people on election night wait to see what happens in the county. And seeing in 2020, being in a room, electing our first female mayor of Miami-Dade County was such an honor, and thank you for your service. And we have an opportunity that we haven't had in 28 years. 28 years that the city of Miami has not been run by a Democratic mayor. That changes on December 9th. On December 9th, we elect Eileen Higgins as mayor of the city of Miami. And none of that would be possible if it wasn't for each and every one of you in this room, who is willing on Saturdays and Sundays and Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays to spend your time on phone banks, to spend your time knocking on doors, to organize, and to remind the people of this county that everything is possible when we put good candidates on the ballot that are talking about the things that are important to the people here in this county, in this city. Because we have seen 30 years of one-party control of this state, and everything has increased. Our property insurance, our auto insurance, our everyday costs of living, our environment has failed, the corruption in Tallahassee has gotten overwhelming. And so we have an opportunity over the next couple of weeks to remind the people of this city that when Democrats organize, when we get behind good candidates who are focused on the people every single day, that they have the power to take back this city. And that is what they're going to do on December 9th, is take back the city of Miami. And the other part that where Laura is right, as so many of you have said this over the years, and as I have crisscrossed our state and have been a candidate myself, most people have asked us, where have you been for the last 2 years? Why are you only coming out today to ask me for my vote? Things are breaking. I can't make rent. I can't get access to health care. I can't make sure that my grandmother in a senior facility is going to have proper health care. And so for 30 years, we've had one party controlling of this state. But because of the work that we are doing through the Pendulum Program, which we announced earlier part of this year, we are year-round organizing in every part of this state, all the way from Key West, all the way to Escambia County that we flipped this year for the first time since the 1980s. And as I cross the state and talk to people from every walk of life, Democrats, Republicans, independents, it reminds me every day that what unites us is always greater than what divides us. And that in this moment, and Stacey Abrams was right too, that the question is not left versus right. Because I get asked all the time, how can you explain the victories of Mandami in New York and Abigail Spanberger in Virginia? And Mikey in New Jersey, our first female governors in Virginia, and two fierce fighters. And people ask me all the time, is it progressive versus liberal? And I said the formula is actually very clear. Show up. Be authentic. listen to what the people in our communities are saying to us, that they're frustrated. They're frustrated with watching politicians in fancy suits flying in private planes for steak dinners. They want somebody who's going to show up for them every single day and fight for them. And that is what Democrats showed 2 weeks ago. Because we won races throughout our state in some of the redder areas, we flipped a city council in Madison. Show of hands, who knows where Madison County is? Not a lot. But we flipped a seat there. And we flipped a seat in Crawford. Tell me anybody who knows where Crawford is. All right. Crawford, Lake County. You know what else Lake County now has? Charlie Kirk Street. But Democrats flipped a seat there 2 weeks ago. Because when we show up, when we fight for the issues, when we fight for the people, they want to support the Democratic values because we share those values. And it is Democrats who have always been on the front lines of bold policies. Whether that was the GI Bill that gave veterans an opportunity for higher education, whether that it was the Social Security Act, or Medicaid, or Medicaid. We have always been on the front lines fighting for bold, progressive initiatives. And that is what we are going to do now. We have really important elections coming up in December, really important elections coming up next year. We have an opportunity to flip the cabinet. Up and down, we've got some candidates in the room. If you'd raise your hand for our statewide candidates, I saw JJR's in the room, and he was. I saw somewhere out there. One of our own from Miami-Dade County. We have Jerry Demings in the house. Because this is our opportunity to show not just the people of our state, but the people of this nation, that Florida is not to be counted out, that we are going to fight back, that we are going to flip seats, and we're going to get good leaders into office because now more than ever it matters. It matters who our elected officers are, all the way from our school board races all the way up to our U.S. Senate races. Leadership matters, and in this moment, elected officers who are ready and willing to stand up and fight back for what is important to each and every one of us. That is democracy, that is accountability, that is affordability. And with each of your help between now and December, if you haven't registered to do a phone bank or a canvas, please do so with Laura or whoever she assigns by the end of the day. We need all of your help. And then don't take too much time off on Christmas and the holidays, because we got to start back up, because we have to get people elected back onto our school board. We have county and city commission races that have to be won. We have legislative seats, congressional seats, and everything is possible when we do it together. So thank you, Democrats, for being here today. Thank you for staying in this fight. I know onward to December and onward to 2026, we are going to protect democracy. We're going to get better leadership in Washington, D.C., and better leadership here in the state of Florida. Thank you.
I'm back! I'm back! I'm back! Get up off of that thing and dance to you better. Get up off of that thing and dance to you. Sing it now.
Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Democrats, it is my personal pleasure to introduce to you a young man you may already know personally or by his sterling reputation. He has labored in the vineyards of South Florida Democratic politics for decades. He has won, he has lost, he has been cheated, but he has never been defeated. Even when he was cheated, he picked himself up, he dusted himself off, and he got back in the race. And he won that race. And he never lost his equanimity of purpose. Through all of his travails, he is now serves our community as the mayor of South Miami. He is macho, he is a mensch. He is your very good friend and mine, Javier Fernandez.
Last night, you wouldn't make love to me. You went fast asleep. You wouldn't even talk to me. You say I'm so crazy. Coming home intoxicated. I said I just wanna love.
Good afternoon, Democrats. I'm going to be brief because I know my place in the world, and I'm the only person standing between all of you and Flow Rider. So, but I have a lot of thank yous to share this afternoon, and it starts first with my wife and my daughter, Susanna, who are here to support me, and my mother, Dede. They are the foundation and the inspiration for my service, and I'm obviously so grateful to them for all their support. To my friend Bob, who is not only a veteran, but the heart of the Democratic Party, multiple campaign volunteer, thank you for the wonderful introduction. To Laura and the DEC for this honor, most undeserved, but very grateful for having it. And I want to say to all of you, we see you, we appreciate your work. We don't say thank you enough, but thank you for all you do for all of us. Lastly, if you've ever been or ever served on the city council, you don't do anything by yourself. I just happen to hold the gavel. And so I've got to thank my colleagues on City Commission. This issue around 287G was not an easy issue for a small city like South Miami to jump into. And I was honored to have the support of three of my council members, our Vice Mayor Brian Corey, Commissioner Danny Rodriguez, who just joined the council, so it was a tough early vote for him to jump in on, and my colleague who's here, Steve Gaye. If you could please give them all a round of applause. So very quickly, how did South Miami find itself in this particular fight? Well, it's not one that we sought out. It's one that really came to us. Early this year, in February and March, we started getting threatening phone calls from our police chief, our city manager, about this campaign of coercion, really, the governor and his staff have been running to get cities to sign on to agreements they had no legal obligation to sign. And all we had was a choice to react. And the question is, how would we react? And frankly, I'm fortunate that I was trained as a lawyer. And so when I read the contract, I said to myself, this makes no goddamn sense, right? Why am I going to lend my support and get no protection from the federal government to help them do their job in a way I don't agree with? When I thought about our mission, first and foremost, to South Miamians, right, it made no sense as well. Our job is to protect and serve our local community. That requires our police to have the trust of that community. And in my opinion, it was a bad policy choice to put us into such a contract for that reason. And lastly, most importantly, the decision on my part to lead this effort was really one, a personal issue that was born of a sense of betrayal to my family and the legacy that they left me, given that I am a proud Cuban American. Our story is a story of many of the people who are now being victimized by this campaign to force people out of this country. My grandmother got up every day after she came here on a tourist visa and overstayed it with my uncle and my mom, and went to work without a work permit to put food on the table. And signing on to this agreement would have let my police department target people like her for doing nothing other than trying to support their families. And frankly, I thought it was immoral, and I'm proud that we stood up and said no. So I'll close with this because there's a lot of work to do, and I know, like all of you, I like to win. And my only advice is that we keep the formula simple. As we've heard, let's keep putting people first. Let's honor our past and our parents' legacies. And let's stand steadfast for our principles. And if we do all that, we'll start on December 9th by electing Eileen Higgins. And we'll move on next year to flip the House and change America in 2026. Thank you, everyone.
Javier Fernandez. You got it. I just got that magic symbol, stall for 5 minutes, which to a podcaster is like oxygen. Look at this room. People are commenting on the live stream. We're running it on Legal AF and on Katie Phang's news channel. The comments alone are talking about the energy in this room. They're talking about Representative Jamie Raskin. They're talking about Miami issues that a lot of this nationwide audience were not aware of but are now. They're donating through Act Blue, which is a link in the live stream right now. And everybody that wants to watch this when they get home, it'll be up on a video under the live tab in both the Legal AF channel and on the Katie Phang news channel. But I got to reunite with a number of people in this room from my time in local government and municipal government. A lot of people might know I had a chapter in my life where I worked at Weiss Serota, which represented 30 different municipal cities as the city attorney. So I kind of got my start there. And then this podcast thing with Katie started out sort of as a fluke during COVID. It really was a COVID side gig that became the gig. And as people know, I left the full-time practice of law right around the time of the election, and for a very good reason, so that we could reignite this cause on behalf of the Democrats, the moderates, the liberals, the independents, and bring them back to the Democratic Party. There is no reason why Florida should be anything but blue again. I was here for Barack Obama twice, and when people tell me it's a red state and it is gone forever, I just can't believe it. They don't know the heart and the energy and the courage of the people in this room. Hi, Katie. Katie, kibitz with me for a couple of minutes, will you?
We're kibitzing.
So, I guess the big question for us tonight is, what, besides being here, which shows that you are committed to the cause of democracy and to the Miami-Dade Democrats, what else are you going to do to make this a success on December 9 and at the midterms? We need voter registration. We need
everything.
Well, we need everything.
Amen.
But let's start with voter registration. You may think even the people in this room, make sure we get the souls to the polls. Make sure we get people. It's not just about you voting. It's about getting 10 other people in your life to vote with you on the things that matter.
What about our married voters with the different names? If there's a SAVE Act issue,
well,
we have to have your voter registration matching with what?
Yeah, I mean, listen, one of our colleagues here said to me, if you think you're properly registered,
you better check.
You're probably not. They've changed the rules on us. They don't want us to know what the changes are, and you have to do that. That's one. And you can do it around the country as well. You can help with voter registration at the national level and at the local level. That's one. On the redistricting, we've got to fight hard to make sure that we don't lose Democratic seats in Florida.
Because we know that that's definitely percolating in Tallahassee right now, so we're paying attention to all of that. But we know you guys understand that, because that's why you're here. We're not taking people's crumbs because we demand the entire pie. And without further ado, we actually have a little music. What do you think?
We do. Florida of Miami and Carol City is one of the most streamed artists of the last 20 years, with billions of plays worldwide.
Billions.
And chart-topping hits in almost every country. He exploded onto the scene with Low, which became the #1 digital single of the 2000s. But he's also a philanthropist with big dreams for kids, supporting children's programs, education, and community across Florida. He's an icon. He's a supporter of democratic ideals and values and of democracy. I'm still tap dancing?
You're still kibitzing.
Still kibitzing. Oh, all right. And he's going to be here in a moment. Who's got questions for Katie or me?
No one?
No. All right. Are we close? What's the streamers say? Yes? Yes? Still 2 minutes? That's like Donald Trump's 2 weeks. Everything's in 2 weeks.
Taco Trump.
What are we?
What do we think or what do we sing?
Oh, now we're singing?
Now we're singing.
No, we're not singing. We're not singing. So look, everybody that's here at a table, whether you're an elected official or you're working for an elected official or you're working to try to get somebody to be an elected official, you are the leaders of this party. The fact that you came here into Doral on a Sunday to sit with your fellow Democrats is saying something. All right? But from here, we got to take the energy outside.
Yes.
Right? And if you're lawyers and other people that want to do poll watching, we need poll watchers at elections on behalf of the party. You don't have to be a lawyer to do that. If you're a lawyer, there are lawyers for the Democratic Party that you can sign up for. There's so many ways to be involved in terms of phone banking, in terms of mainly the voter registration is the biggest thing right now.
It's the biggest one right now, especially. Next year is going to be too late, people. We got to be on top of it now. It's really the only way when it comes to timing.
And the crowds in the streets are important. Who here has been to a No King's Day or hands off in the streets?
There we go.
Right. This is the group. This is the group that's
This is
in the
how we
streets.
do it.
And I have to tell you, having interacted a lot with elected officials and attorneys general, as has Katie, the number one thing they tell us is that the crowds in the streets matter. That is the message that you're sending to elected officials. Right. So don't think it's just about, well, YouTube and social media. Get into the streets. You know, we just had almost 10 million people across the country hit the streets for No King's Day.
It was outrageous.
It started with no hands off with 5 million people. We hit 10 million for the last march, and wait till the next one.
It's going to be significant. And each and every one of you, the one thing that we talk about a lot is doing things in community. This is our community. We're defending our rights in this community, and we're doing it together. And that's the reason why we're all here today. What did you just say?
What did you see
these
that?
Are the longest. Did you see it?
Yeah.
These are the longest.
Huh? Oh, okay. We're gonna switch up the program just
there
slightly. Okay. You coming back?
Yes.
Laura, okay.
It's
Laura Kelly, everybody, our illustrious chairperson. Yay.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for that. That was great. I could not stall like that. In fact, I was like, no, don't put me up there. So it is my great privilege on behalf of the Miami-Dade Democratic Party to present the Dream Builder Award to an extraordinary Miami-Dade native whose life and legacy embody resilience, generosity, and the unwavering belief that our dreams, especially our children's dreams, are worth investing in. Flo Rida is a global icon, a history-making artist, and one of the most recognizable superstars of our time. With more than 100 million singles sold worldwide and countless performances across major stages and national broadcast, Flo Rida's impact is absolutely undeniable. But today, we honor something even bigger. Born and raised in Miami Gardens, Flo Rida took the same determination that propelled him across the globe and brought it home, investing it directly into the young people of this community. As the founder of Big Dreams for Kids Foundation and the driving force behind the Florida Youth Football League, Flo Rida touches the life of more than 10,000 children every year. Through athletics, mentorship, and leadership development, he instills the values that shape strong futures: integrity, loyalty, discipline, and belief in one's own potential. He hasn't just built a career, he's built pathways. He hasn't just created music, he's created opportunities. And he hasn't just risen, he's lifted others up with him. And beyond philanthropy, he has invested in Miami-Dade as a businessman and employer, from the Licking Restaurant franchise to Club Studio 183 to elevating new talent through the International Music Group. Whether it's an emerging artist, a young athlete, or a child who simply needs someone to believe in them, Flo Rida has shown up consistently and with purpose. Flo, your journey reminds us that dream building is not an abstract idea. It's action, it's mentorship, it's investment. It's using your gifts to open doors that you once had to push open yourself. You show our community, especially our kids, that where you start does not determine how far you go. And the greatness can come from right here in Miami-Dade County.